with Edmodo. Edmodo is the, for lack of a better term, is going to be the classroom management app or website that we use. It's going to allow you to build your classes. It's going to allow you to go through and post assignments, grade assignments, etc. Is
it a website, basically?
There we go. It's a website, it's an app, it's a little of everything.
Do all the kids have to have separate username and passwords?
What's that?
Does each kid have to have
you'll as we go through, you'll see. Okay, you're gonna set it up, and then from them, they're gonna set up their own accounts. So like here, if you don't have an Edmodo account right now, if you want to go to the website, it's just Edmodo, just like it says up here, Edmodo.com. And you're going to want to look this up through your browser, through Safari, if you're using your iPad. If you want to do it on your laptop, everything that I'm going to do and everything that you're going to do primarily is going to be driven through your laptop, because that'll be the quickest way to do it. But you can just as easily do it through your iPad. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a free account. Okay. And so when you're choosing, like if you pull it up on the iPad, it'll say, do you want the mobile web version or the full web version? Just click on the full web version. Okay, so for me, I already have an account. So I'll go ahead and sign in. Yep, full web version. Then basically you're going to see exactly what they see, what you see on your laptop.
And then sign up as a teacher.
Sign up as a teacher. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you come up with your own password, and I'm going to be very blunt. It's best if you just make one educational password for this first year, because you're going to have a lot of apps you're going to be signing into, things like it. Just make one password, and if, quote, it gets hacked, then you'll just have to change that password. But realistically, if you have a bunch of different passwords, it's going to be hard to keep up, because there's going to be a lot of them.
Find your school.
And make it something that you can remember.
Yeah, it should.
Okay, so here is.
Do you have to upload a photo?
You don't have to. I mean, it would be nice if you did upload a photo.
No,
I mean, eventually.
No,
okay, and this is kind of blurry. So we'll try to unblur it. Maybe not. This is Edmodo. It has a Facebook look to it, but it's really not that hard to use. So I'm going to just we're going to get everybody get signed up. And then I'm just going to do some demonstrating of a few things, and then as we get going, if you want to go ahead and add to it. Yep.
Quick cue. So I'm at that teacher profile part, and at the bottom it says make Edmodo your own, choose a URL to make it easier for your colleagues to find you. Do I want to do that?
No, right now you don't need to. So you can eventually create your own web page off of Edmodo, and so you can. So you could just have your own app page.
So just go to next.
So just go to next and just click through communities. Like, if example, if you're a math teacher, if you want to click on math, then basically what it does here is this. These are communities that I've joined down here.
Oh, okay.
And basically, like, science is a community. So teachers will share lessons, and they'll share stuff with the community. And so as you're going through and building your profile, it'll ask you to choose a community, do things like that, and they give you, they give you little badges and little buttons and say, hey, good job for signing up for that. But basically what it lets you do is, like, this is Educreation. So that's that whiteboard app that we talked about using in class. And there's a lot of good resources with that, so I chose that. Quizlet. Here's science. I don't remember what the last two are that I chose. So we'll let everybody get a profile and kind of get it going here. So then if you want to join that community, I think you just need to click on it to join it. So follow community. I think there's a green button. So example, if I go to communities over here, I'm going to go down to this corner here, communities, and hit browse. So then basically what you're looking at is this right here. And you can choose different communities. If there's something that actually you really like. Example, if there was a website here that you really liked, example, third world farmer team, if you were involved in like third world projects and things like that, that would be a good one. As you look through here, there's a lot of different ones. I just went through and chose a few that I think that I could use right away. Okay, and if I can't use them right away, then I'll eventually maybe come back to it. But for sure, I would choose your general topic. So if you're teaching, example, I'm teaching science, so I chose science, social studies, just because of just the resources that'll pop up for you. Once you want to get out of that, you're going to notice up here, these are the main buttons that you're going to want to push. The house button is your home button. So if you ever want to go back to the main screen, you just click on your house button right there. Brings you back here. The next button is your planner button. This is where the kids' assignments will show up for them. And for you, the assignments that you give will show up here. It'll tell you what the assignment is. It'll tell you when the due date is, etc. So this is just a real simple way for students to organize all their stuff. Will be right here.
So when I assign something, it'll automatically go to there.
It automatically goes there for them.
Does a student have one planner for each class, or one planner?
A student has one planner, and all their classes will be there. So what it will do is it'll list, and I'll show you what it looks like on the student side.
Okay.
But it'll have all their classes, and then basically every class has a different color.
Okay.
And some teachers are going to ask, "Can you change the color?" And the answer is probably, but I don't know how to do that, and really it's not that important.
Right.
So, okay, that's this. Then the next thing, you're going to see the little the little notebook with a check on it. That is your classes. Okay? So this is how you,
I just got signed on, I had some problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Get caught up to where everybody is here?
Sure. Yep, let's back up here. So, okay. So
I clicked in my language arts community, and that's all I have.
Okay, so then you can just get out. You can, from there, you should be able to just go to my home page, and then you should be right to here. Okay, and on the home page, Larry, is what I was telling you is this home button will always take you back to this main page. And right now, your main page is going to be pretty blank. If you join a community, then things will pop up immediately.
Okay.
Like for science here, I chose science, so anything new, and it gives you a time frame of when the last thing was posted. So chronologically, the newest things are always at the top, just like you would assume, and the older things are at the bottom. So your home page right here, this will be your classes. They call classes groups.
Okay.
So you'll eventually create, I'll show you how to create a class, but these are your classes. Now for me, I asked Michelle, do you have them ready? She said, sorry, no, and that's fine. You're just going to create, so I just created a biology class for each period of the day. Knowing that I can go in there, delete that class, I can add a class back in, so it's not that big of a deal. So we'll go through here. You just got through communities when you were logging in, so your communities will show up here, the ones you choose to belong to. What you're going to see here are the posts. They're going to give you, like on Facebook, like friends suggestions. Here's suggestions of people that are on Edmodo that you might want to have, so you can connect with all the different teachers, and then you can see what they're doing. Recent activity, this shows you what's been going on. Up here, this is, when you look at stuff, when you're looking at did a student turn something in, there's a post-it note up here that'll keep a running tab of what's being turned in. Here's 2 new connections that can be made. There's 3 turned in assignments, 2 quizzes that were submitted, and a new group member that were added to my class. So anything new that's occurring, you can just glance up there to get a quick look. On the main page, if you want to post a note to your class, meaning this page is only viewable by people you give permission to view it. So, I joined this community, so that's why I can see it, but if I type a note in here, I can make it so that it only goes to my certain classes and nobody else can see it, okay? You can type an alert. An alert is just like it sounds. Quiz tomorrow, don't forget to bring X, Y, Z. An assignment, I'll show you how to do that. That's how you're going to do the day-to-day homework. A quiz, you can build quizzes on here. They're great, short, simple quizzes, and they're really easy to make. And they're good because they will show you data right on there, and it will keep track of it. So if you want to do a test on here, you could, but it's a little cumbersome. And then a poll, especially if you want to ask just broad questions. Would you rather have the quiz on Thursday or Friday? You know, kids can respond in. Okay, so we'll get through there. So we're going through the buttons on the top. The next button over here is going to be the calendar button. We just went through that. That is your planner. This is what students will see. Students can organize it however they want to organize it, in the sense of if they want to look by, they're more big picture people and they want to look at the month and see how the month lays out, they can do that. Here was one that when we were doing practice ones between teachers, I threw one up there so you can see what that looks like. So here's 3 different assignments. Okay, so each assignment, and since it was in the same class, they're all the same color. If this had been, example, science was, biology was blue, English may be red for them, social studies green, so there's a code that goes with it. If I want to create a new task, I can click on that, a new event, little things like that. Now what's the difference between a task and an event? An event is kind of a big, like, okay, quiz coming up soon, a new task might be a specific thing. Have your book, since we're not going to deal with books, have your iPad covered by Monday.
So anything I put on my calendar, all my students can see it on their calendar.
On their calendar.
So they don't have to write down their assignment in class.
It gets even better, because now when they say that they lost an assignment and they don't know where it's at, they'll never lose an assignment again. There's no excuses why they don't have an assignment. So next one here is going to be your classes. They call them groups. Now you can give kids badges. It's just like a sticker. A thumbs up, a smiley face. So you can make your own. They have pre-made ones. So you can give badges to kids that do well on tests, etc. But here are your classes. So I can click on a class. Biology period 1. I have 1 student enrolled, BA Warrior. Okay. So BA Warrior right now is not doing so well. He's only got a 70%. You can import grades in here. You can put grades in here. And when you do that, I can then go up here and I can export grades into an Excel file that can then be sent up to PowerSchool to be put in your gradebook. Okay? Now, it's a step, but I mean, if you want to, you can do all your grading in here, and then once you get it done, you can just send it right up into your gradebook, and you don't have to retype everything in. Okay? So that's a nice little step. Now, the one thing that they talked about on Edmodo is when you export it, it's got to be it's a CSV file, and that's the format that it seems that PowerSchool wants. It says that's what it wants, but I've never done it, so that would be something we'd want to play with. But that could be a time saver for us. The next thing, you see library books up here. Library books is just like it sounds. It's your library. So whatever you want to do document-wise, you can create folders. And so, example, you could have, like for biology, you could have a biology folder, and then you could have all your stuff in there. The problem, they do not allow folders, subfolders, folders. They don't allow you to have a ton of folders within folders. So you're going to want your folder to be general enough that, so example, for me, I would just put a chapter 1 folder, or whatever my first topic is. I just have a example. If we were doing scientific method, I'd have a scientific method folder, and then everything that was scientific method would go there. This would be a good idea for like essential learnings. You could put your essential learnings over here, put everything that goes in there.
Is this where we put like PDFs for kids to access?
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is you can have them. You can load them in your library. They're also called. You're going to see it's called backpack. Your backpack is tied to your library. You can tie this to Google Docs, so you can have all your stuff on Google Docs and tie it to here, and you can access your files through Google Docs onto here. Okay, and that's basically, if you want to, when you go to click on Google Docs, example, if I click on Google Docs, it has some of the ones that I already put on there. So in my folder, these are some of the ones that I have. Okay, and so when I put them up there, they're basically in the order from the most recent to the, so forth. So this is the most recent document. As you go down, they get older chronologically. So you can go up here to Google Folders, and then so you can see I've got the different folders I have set up. So if you set up your class folders in Google Docs, you could have them there too. You don't have to store anything on here if you don't want to, but you can. Let's see here. Go back to library. If you want to send a post. So I'm going to send a post and say, hey, everybody, this is, if you want to just send out a general assignment, you don't want to grade it, like a bell ringer or something like that, you can just do attach to post. You can type in a quick little post and say, okay, here's today's bell ringer, and then click on the document you want them to have. Now, they can access it, but you can't grade it online. So for anything that you don't want to grade, just send it out as a post. And it's just there. The kids can access it. They can do whatever you can talk about in class. You're just not going to grade it. Okay? So that's one way of doing that. And then the last one, this is the big new, how you want to say it. Edmodo's trying to make their money with their own apps. So just like we have our apps, there's an app store on Edmodo. Now, if you do Edmodo, they're going to ask you to fill out a little survey, and then they'll give you $50 Edmodo bucks. Well, you can use the $50 Edmodo bucks as a teacher to buy apps. These two come with it. There's a photo editing app that you get for free. There's a SchoolTube app to open SchoolTube videos. Then I bought this one. This is a clicker app. So you can basically, for 1 year, you have unlimited students you can put on your clicker app. So it's just like doing clickers. So if you want to do like a clickers, I did it because it just, I don't know what I'm going to spend money on it at Moto apps, so I figured most of the apps were going to have a real Apple apps, so I got it.
Steve, how come that does not appear on my screen yet?
Okay.
Am I don't signed up enough for stuff? Set up
Let's
enough
see
to get it?
here. Are you signed up as a teacher?
Yes.
Okay, is there anybody else that does not have apps?
I mean, after book, I just have books.
You just have the book up to the books?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to go in and figure out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it says this is my
Teacher. Okay. We'll have to figure out why you don't have apps. I know that when I logged in, I didn't originally have it, and then I logged back in and I had it. So I don't know if it's enough.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can figure that one out. All right, if we go back to the home page here. Okay, so if we look up here, here is, here's the main page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a class real quick. Okay, so if we go to groups, okay, so I'm right here.
Oh, it showed up.
Yeah, it just,
Did
yeah.
for me too. I logged out and logged back in.
Yeah, if you do a survey, then it pops it up. And
Weird.
so no, I have to find some at the store, then it should, yeah, now you got it. So,
Once I logged back in, it did, yeah.
I'm logged in here.
Taking the Edmodo survey there. So I need to do that.
Will it transfer?
Yeah.
yep, it's just,
Right away?
this is
Okay,
right on.
that's
See, right now, what we're going to do with Edmodo is, Edmodo has an Edmodo app that you can download. It's free. The only limitation with the Edmodo app at this time is that it'll allow you to upload as many PDFs as you want, but what it does not allow the student to do is to do anything with it. It doesn't offer them, do you want to open this in another application to actually annotate or write something on it? I contacted their support and they said it's coming. The app at that time, right before school got out, had only been out for like 2.5 weeks. So they said that's the next thing that they're going to do. They just wanted to get, they've been basically built off the website, edmodo.com, and so now they're trying to make the app be identical to this, and so they have to do it in phases, and so they said that's the next phase. So right now, that's why I had you log in on your iPad through Safari.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to throw a wrench in this too,
Yep.
because now but I created a subdomain for Wahoo Schools.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going through the regular Edmodo link to get to Edmodo, I'm going to send you guys a link that's to our school's subdomain. So that's the one I want you to put on the website, and then a school code. So it basically creates a community of Wahoo High School and Wahoo Middle School automatically when you have the school, you know, when you log into the school codes, you pull on part of our domain. And stuff.
Okay.
I don't know what the great advantage is going to be, except that, you know, you can post something to one of the
School-wide.
schools and it goes school-wide.
It'll go school-wide. Okay.
So instead
Yep.
of having, let me copy that link.
That's
and
fine.
Send it to you guys.
For right now, we can just keep plugging away, and then that's something we can click on that link. It's instead of logging in through edmodo.com, there might be a different link that we can log in through. So, okay.
And that could be then a link on the website.
That's what
I'll have
she's just
Dave
saying.
put that.
All right, here we go. So if we want to go, we're gonna create a class. So let's go right over here to groups. Now you may not have any, and if you just logged in, you will not have any. So you're gonna click in groups. Now you're not joining a group. To join a group, that's what students will do. Okay. So you're gonna create a group. So click on create, and what you're gonna see is you're just gonna create a class. So you're gonna give your class a name. You're going to give it a grade. Now, let's say that you have a variety of students in there. So you've got an elective, and you might have sophomores through seniors. You can select a range. Subject area, and then if you click on advanced options, it says default all new members to read only. So if you want to lock out people and say you can't edit or do anything with it, you can. You can moderate all posts and replies, meaning you can make it so that any post that a student tries to make has to go through you. It has to be approved first. If you really are worried about somebody doing something inappropriate. Now, once again, the big thing with technology is kids have to learn to be appropriate with technology. So I think you kind of have to just let it go, and if something inappropriate happens, I think
So
you have to.
don't click the moderate.
Well, you can,
Right.
but you can.
So start
I'm just
out
saying,
without
for
the-
me, I'm going to start without, and I'm
Right.
just going to try to tell them, okay, what's appropriate, okay? So some of the things that you just, like example, my daughter, when you're mad at me and you decide to tweet something, I know it's really private between you and the entire world, but I can eventually figure out what you put too. So if you could just, I guess the comment is don't put anything on there that you don't want people to really see. So you're going to create a group. So you can create a class. Now I've already created my classes over here. So like I said, if I click on my class, I click on period 1. Now you can see this is my period 1 right here. So these are all my assignments that I have given to my my student that I made up. I gave assignments to see what it looks like. This class is locked now. Okay? Now, what you can do, there's a code that when you start a new class, and here, let me just create a new class here, just for the heck of it. So, we're going to go warrior period, select grade, actually, we're going to go range. Just a little sliding bar here. So 9 through 12, subject area, we're just going to put, we'll put all, okay, and create. Now, you're going to see my warrior period over here is now active. This is the class we're referring to. They don't have anything assigned. Here is a code that you will give students to get into that class. If they don't have the code, then they can't access anything in that class. Once you have the kids in there you want in there, you can lock the class and nobody else can get in. Then what you can do is, once that happens, you can unlock it and let's say a student moves in 3 weeks into the school, you can unlock it and then allow another student in. But now you've controlled the flow of, you don't have anybody in 8th period sneaking in and trying to figure out, can I get a copy of a quiz or something ahead of time? Now, kids are going to have these, they're going to be able to share stuff, so you just, if you wouldn't set a copy of your quiz out on a desk in front of a student, then you're not going to send them a copy of the quiz ahead of time because you know kids will be kids. Okay? So then basically it tells you exactly what you're going to do here. So your classroom is ready for students, you invite the students. Now, they will say to email it to each individual student to do that, and you can do that. I'm going to go low tech probably and just write it on the board for that period. And say, okay, for period 1, here's your code. And I'm going to write it up there, and I'm going to have them log into my class. So students on, those first couple days of school, this would be a really great activity to do, is to just have them log into, create an Edmodo account for your class, have them log in, create a student account. Now, once they've created it in one class, they can access it in all the other classes. All they're going to do is just simply type in a code, and then it sends them to your class. Okay? So then once you've got everybody in, you lock the code. It's not posted publicly, meaning I put it up there, but I can erase it. I mean, if I want to email it to the kids, it's just one extra step. You can do that. Okay? And then here, you can share folders. So let's say that there is bell ringers that you want the kids to do all the time. With Spanish, there's the verb charts, there's all that stuff. You can just have a folder that's open to them, and then they can just get anything out of that folder anytime they want.
Where would that folder be?
You're going to create the folder. Basically, the folder would be inside of your
Library?
So if you go here to to your library, to this one. So library, you'll create a folder.
Yeah.
And so you can just create a general folder for all kids to be able to just, if you just want to dump things in there that they have free reign to go get it anytime they want.
So my whole library is not available to them.
Nope, only what you share with them.
Okay.
So that's
So
what I'm
when I
saying. If you want to make a folder and you want to say that this is Algebra 2 public,
Okay.
then anything you put in there, you're saying it's open to you're going to share the code with them to that folder, and they can go get to it anytime they want.
Oh, so they need a code to get to that particular folder.
Right. So you got to give them permission to get into that folder.
Okay.
And so yeah, they can't just get into anything. You have to give them permission to get into it.
If I give a student a quiz, first hour, and the quiz is sent to me, right? Can they then go to somebody that has a fifth hour and open up the quiz on their computer and show it to them?
Could they get
Or
up
does it
there?
disappear on theirs once they take it and send it?
No, they always have a copy of it on theirs. So if they want to do that, I mean that would be they could do that. That's why we're talking about using
Can
positive
the quiz be
polls.
removed after that period?
Yeah, you can
remove it?
just take it off. You can just you can just have it on there, and then you can deny permission. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not 100% locked down full.
So hold on, if he gave a quiz, at the end of the period, he can go in and take it off, lock it, and then that student can't see that quiz anymore, or can they, since it's on there?
Well, so once he shared it, so like let's say he loads a quiz on there, you could probably go in and take it off. I don't know what
if it takes off the
if it
students
takes
or not.
off the students or not. I don't know. I haven't done that, so I can't answer that part. All right. So let me do this here. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to log out and log back in as a student.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go. Yep.
How do I invite people into my group?
You invite people into your group by giving them the code. Once you create a class.
So I'm gonna go to my laptop and send out that email then.
Well, you can do it from here.
Okay.
So I could do it from here. I mean, what I have on here and what I have on my laptop are identical because it's a website.
Okay.
Once we have the app on here, then it should still be the same. So once I send a code to a student or anybody, then that will give them permission to get into that group. And then from there, you can share information within that group individually or throughout all your classes. Because when I send out an assignment, I can click and toggle and say I want it to go. So let's say I have 5 math classes that are identical. I can just click over here and I can send it to all 5 instantly, and they'll instantly get it. Okay. All right. I'm going to log out here.
And students take.
Once you go up there, let's see here.
Can the kids take screenshots of quizzes and all that?
I'm sure they can do all that stuff. I mean, it's going to be real easy too, in the sense of if you think somebody screenshotted it, just take it, look at their photos. You'll know. I mean, that's part of the administrative. Let me see. If you can delete a class here, let me see.
Steve, just where you've got warrior period, if you want to delete warrior period,
Mhm.
just go over and click on group settings on the right side.
Group settings.
Okay.
And there's delete group right there
Oh,
at the
delete
bottom
group.
right.
There we go. Thank you, sir. Fighting writing like
Da-da.
And if you want to save the group, there's also an archive group too. Okay? And then group notification settings over here too. So once again, you can say, do you want to show latest post? Do you want to send notification? You can say yes or no on those kind of things too. All right. Oops. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to log out. And I'm going to try to remember how to log back in through him.
I'll put a button on the front page of the school website with the Edmodo
That's awesome.
Wahoo domain. Just a few minutes.
Alright. Bear with me, I'm not logged in under my fake name here.
And the other thing that this thing can do is if you add those kids in, if the kids join ours, as a student, you can send out codes to the
You can send out what?
parent codes. So the parent can log into their kids. Yeah, I haven't, I signed up for that domain, but haven't yet.
Hey, look at that. 7th time's a charm. Okay, now you are seeing up here, this is the student. Okay? This is the student version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and get out of taking over the screen here. All right. I'm going to go over to Rick's computer and I'm going to log back in as the teacher myself on this one, and I'm going to send that student an assignment. All right. Oh, so small, Rick. Oh, holy cow. Definitely not mine. Okay, so if I was a teacher, I go and log into Edmodo. I'm going to sign in as myself. Okay, now I sent everybody yesterday and resent again today, a guide, a general teacher's guide on what I just talked through, how to make groups, those things. I sent you a general guide. Then I sent you a specific homework guide that I made. The homework guide is like a cheat sheet for how to do an assignment. So when you are doing this, you should have got in the emails, the one PDF that I sent you is massive. The homework guide, because I took screenshots of everything, so it literally shows you step by step how to do it.
That was the
36 pages. Yes.
So the homework one that you're just talking about.
That's I'm gonna talk through how to do homework right now, but you should have a document that I sent you that talks through how to do it. Okay? All right, here we go. So I am going to go to my period 1 class right now. Okay? I am going to ignore my phone. All right, here.
Where's our classes again? Oh, there. Never mind. Got it.
Okay, yep.
I'm there.
Okay, so here we go. So if you just want to, for right now, just stare up at my screen. Because if you're looking at yours, you're going to miss something, and then you're going to wonder what happened. Okay, so this is for period, I'm just sending out an assignment to period 1. I could easily send it out to all my periods. I'm just going to focus on period 1 because I only have one fake student and he's only registered in one fake class, which is period 1. All right, so I'm going to go to assignment. Okay, now when I'm going to send an assignment, I've got to give it a title and I have to give it a description. For me, I'm just giving it the exact same thing. So we're going to go study guide. Section 1.1, Okay, due date, we're going to make it due on Thursday. Now, this is a class. Notice I clicked on period 1, so it automatically says where it's going. If I want to give it to all my classes, I just type in all my classes. So if I type in bio, if I start typing bio, it'll just start giving me other classes I can choose. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go to load assignment. If you've already got the assignment up, you've already given it to one class, you want to give it to another class. If you hit load assignment, it goes and finds the last assignment that you sent out. Because let's say a student, I didn't get it. Well, you can, if you hit load assignment, it'll give you the very last assignment. So that button, only use it if you have, I mean, if it's the last thing. Right. That's what it is. Otherwise, you can go to file or library. So I'm going to attach a file. So let's say that I just came up with something. And Rick is on Wahoo. Under Wahoo, thank you. So here's the file, open. Okay, so you can see now it's there. Okay, I can either send it now or I can schedule it. So let's say that I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow and I don't have time to send out the assignment to all the kids. So I can just hit schedule. Since it's not due till Thursday, I can schedule this and say I want this to be sent out tomorrow at 7 p.m. So they'll get it, you know, you can just send it out whenever. So you don't have to send it right away. If you want to delay when you send it out, you can just delay when you send it out. Now I'm going to send it out right away so you can see it. So I'm going to send it now. That's what it defaults to. Okay, so I'm going to click send. Okay, so now, right now, here's the assignment. Nobody's turned in the assignment yet. Okay, this is when it's due. Now, this little button here is activity, meaning it tells you who's turned it in, who hasn't turned it in. It gives you a little graph. It'll say for period 1, here are the people that turned it in, here are the people that have not turned it in. For the next one, this one here, if you want to download the file again, kids can download it if they want. This one here allows you to preview and mark it up. If you want to write something on it, you can preview and write on it. So right now, this is what it looks like on the teacher's side. All right. Now, since I have an iPad, I should be smart enough not to have to keep walking around since it can move and not me. But I'm going to grab my iPad now. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to mirror. Okay. So I'm going to go, oops, I'm going to refresh my screen. Okay. I now have an assignment. So as a student, I just got an assignment from Mr. Shannon. He just sent me this assignment, study guide section 1.1. Now, I'm not ready to turn it in. I'll tell you when that step comes. Okay, so here's the assignment that I got. I just got it a minute ago. Okay, now as a student, what I will hit, I have two choices. Once again, I can hit this button or that button. I want to hit the paper button because the paper button is going to allow. It's going to open the document, but then it's going to allow me to choose which app or what other thing that I want to open it up in to write on it with. So if I click on this, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I click on the assignment. Now, notice up here it says, click on it again. So this is the document. I can't do anything with the document right now. It's just there. So if I click anywhere on the screen, open and I annotate, open in, I'm going to hit the open in button. Okay, and it'll pop up choices. Well, the kids, the app that they're going to have is Notability. Okay, so I'm going to click Open in Notability. Now, I can open it in any of these. Okay, Edmodo has an app, but we said we're not going to worry about that. I can open it in Google Drive. If kids are really freaking out and want to save a copy of it, they could. Okay, so I'm going to open it in Notability. Okay, the app opens. Automatically, it says, do you want to create a new note? Is this a new assignment? Have you already opened this assignment and do you just want to add something new to what you already did? Or do you want to add it and tie it into a different note? Well, I'm going to create a new note. Okay, it tells you how many pages it is. So do you want all the pages or do you just want the one page? Okay, so I'm going to click OK, I want the whole thing. All right, so here it is right here. Okay, now in Notability, this is next Tuesday. Vicky's sending out codes for you guys. So what you have up here is a couple things. This is the title of the document. Now, because I didn't give it a title when I sent it. I study guide. Notability will just open it up and it'll look at whatever the heading says and it'll just turn that into it. So if I as a student, I don't want that, I need to be more organized, I can just click, I can delete, and I can go study guide, section 1.1. And I could, yep, oh. Okay, so that's, and I could put biology if I wanted to remind myself if it says biology right there, so I didn't think I needed to. Okay, so close that out. Now, I can choose text, and the student can type on the document. I can choose pencil, and you can make the student write on the document. You can choose highlighter, and the student can highlight things to show you, like example, I don't understand this. Highlight it, question mark. So when they send it to you, you know automatically they didn't understand. Okay? Eraser, just what it sounds, and then cut. If you do something and you don't want it, you can just select cut and it'll just take out the section you don't want.
Hey Steve,
Yep.
because I can't remember anything, I already sent those codes out.
You sent the codes out.
So if you don't have your code, tell me, because I'll resend it, I have the spreadsheets.
Yeah, this is, so the code she's referring to is for the app notability. Okay? So if you have
everybody's name written next to one on the spreadsheet, so I already have it.
So
Yeah.
that's to get you the app itself.
So like when you go to if I sent you something and it's a link to that app, and then if you click on it, it'll let you take you to download Notability.
Oh, so if I had got it
So
downloaded,
if
I
you've
don't
already
need that
got
code
it,
anymore.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I can resend you your code if you.
When'd you send it?
Well, I went back and looked.
Huh?
Hold on here, I'll tell you.
Notability? I thought you showed it to me. Yep. Okay.
May
Steve,
20
mine wants to know, does
May
everybody
29th, I sent them
kind
all.
of cover
Yes, everybody. Once again, we kept it with you in mind. If you're going to throw it in
Yeah,
there
it was
with,
May 29th.
you
So
know,
if you guys
bats,
don't have it,
cleats,
just let me
gloves
know,
into a
I'll resend
bag.
it, no big deal.
Sure you have to
I don't think last thing I have from you is May 22nd.
Everybody's gonna have to take their own snapshots.
Be a little easier. Okay, so here we have the assignment. Now, okay, so I as a student, I'm now going to fill out the assignment and get it to be turned in. Now, because I'm not going to sit here and do the whole assignment, because partially I don't.
Can you you'll just.
So I'll go to text.
Yeah.
I can click anywhere. Okay, boop. Return. Delete. Okay, now over here you're going to see a row. It looks like 3 hearts, A, B, and C.
Oh, yeah.
Students can preset what they want, their fonts, sizes, all that. So they can preset it. So like if I hit A, I preset it so instead of 22, it defaults to size 12 font.
Okay.
Now, what does it mean to do that? You have to go through and choose like where it says Gill Sans, all that stuff. You choose however you want it to look, and then you click A and hold A, and it'll set that button to that. So, okay. So when you get the student that wants to write in calligraphy, then tell them no and tell them what font you want them to write in. Okay, so return. So I can come in here. Now here's the only problem. If I go to tab, the tab buttons are located, if you look above the Q, those are the tab buttons. So if I click here, it will tab, but unfortunately when I tab, if I go too much, delete. Okay, tab, and I have sausage fingers, so I'll hit buttons. So let's go. Okay, so I typed in my name, but now I'm going to come down here. On the bottom of your screen, I'm going to click on this again. Okay, so I chose to type, but now I decided I want to write. So I chose the pencil. Now, in the bottom right corner, you're going to see a little magnifying glass with blue, and then you're going to see a hand. If I want to slide the, if you watch here, if I go to take my finger and move the screen up, move the document up, it's going to write. Okay, I'm going to undo that. My little button up there, my little half arrow is undo. Okay, if I want to move the screen, I just do this. I click the hand button in the bottom right corner, and now I can, oops, undo. Where's it at? There we go. Anyway, moving on. So here, if I want to, as I'm going through, I can write stuff. If I'm not comfortable writing or typing in a certain area, I can just enlarge the area and I can write down here, and it'll do it on the screen. So, does that make sense? So if you have trouble with eyesight and so forth, you can select where you want to write, and then you can enlarge it down below. And that's by doing the magnifying glass. And then the hand should allow me to move the screen and do those things.
On the bottom, when it grades up, I think that's the part you can move up in. Touch there, it won't.
There we go. Okay. So now I can move it without making a mark. So if I choose pencil here, I can change my pencil color. I mean, this is a big deal for some people. You can make it so that the pencil lead is bigger, smaller, etc. So if I go ahead and choose pencil, I can write in here. So
I'm thinking as a teacher, it's going to have to be text probably. Be able to read some of their writing.
And I would agree.
Well, we have the little pens or whatever you call them.
Styluses, kids. I mean, we might be able to get some here, but the kids, it'll just be easier if they get their own.
You know, I have to be honest, Linda, I had one for a while.
You didn't use it?
The tip of it is a lot bigger than what you think it would be, and it's really not.
They haven't mastered that technology.
You think it's cool, but it really doesn't work that well. And I don't know who's got those. Do you have one?
I have a couple.
But you do have to kind of have like a perfect angle kind of.
Yeah.
It's still.
I mean, maybe I would try one first before, we can get some things like that if people are interested.
Just have one of those with the,
I like it, just
the calendar
selecting
little book.
buttons.
But it's not,
We
the
had
tips
like
aren't.
10 years ago.
Home.
Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had the little.
The tip's not as small as what you think.
All right, so let's say that I've done the assignment now. Okay, I threw something on there, I've done the assignment. So now when a student is done, Notability saves it automatically for them. So as you do something, it keeps auto-saving it. So I'm going to go up here to the left corner. You're going to see an arrow in a box. I'm going to click on that. Okay, destination. Now, I'm going to open in another app. So you're going to click, so you can choose any of those. Like if you wanted them to email it to you, they could email it to you or put it in your Google Drive account or whatever. Open in another app. Now here's one thing. If students are going to make a mistake, this is where you need to double check. If they send you an assignment back and it's blank, 9 times out of 10 it's because the paper button, they have to turn on the paper button because the paper button allows you to see all the writing that they did. If they don't turn on the paper button, what they're sending you back is the original blank document that you gave them. Okay? So now I turn on the paper button, open note in, and now it gives me choices. Okay? So it gives me choices on what I can open it in. Now, I'm going to click open it in Edmodo. Okay? Now, to upload the file, you must be logged into Edmodo, then try again. Okay. So, I think I am. Here, we'll try this. Let me go into my Edmodo app. Now this is why we have the Edmodo app. Okay, am I logged in? I'm logged in, looks like. All right, we'll try it again. Okay, that's the original one. Oops. I'm going to go to iAnnotate. Or Notability, excuse me. Okay. So here, open another app, paper on. Okay, then it'll give a code that says, do you want to upload the file to your backpack? Now, the backpack for a student is their library. This is their library for, so I'm going to click OK, yes I do. Okay, so now it is uploaded. Okay? Now, once they've done the assignment in Notability, now all of a sudden here's Edmodo. I want to turn it in now. So I'm going to click on the Turn In button.
Where's that? Did you see it? Nope. I
Yeah.
don't see it.
Okay, the Turn In button is right underneath where it says,
okay.
Yep, I'm going to click Turn In. Okay, now, right now, And this is the beautiful thing. Students can never say they lost your assignment because technically that assignment at the top is the blank assignment you sent them. So they can always go back into the original if they screw up. They can always go back. It's always there. Okay? So now I'm going to go down and it says attach, file, link, or backpack. I'm going to go to my backpack. And then at the very top, the last document I just worked on is at the very top. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click attach. Okay, now you're going to see the little X, and it says Study Guide Section 1.1. Okay, so it is attached. Now, type in your responses here. If students have a specific question, then they can type in their question there. Wasn't sure about number 4. Don't understand the difference between this or that. Okay, they do not have to type a response, but they do have to rate the assignment. Okay, on the bottom, those little emoticons basically are just what they look like. So on the far left is I have no idea what you're talking about. All the way over to the very right, that's a little Elvis-y guy that's like, I got this. So let's say that I have a question. So I'm going to click the one where I have a question. I wasn't sure how to do some of it. So basically, you're ranking it on a scale of 1 to whatever. Okay, and it makes you rank it, and I'll show you why when we get to the teacher side. So I'm going to turn in my assignment. Click Turn In. Okay, so now, BA Warrior turned in the assignment. There's a time code, so you know exactly when they turned it in. Now, on the student end, there's no grade yet. Okay, it hasn't been graded yet. There's my reaction. Now, so if this student thought it was hard, but all of a sudden the rest of the class will have to rate it too, and it'll give you the average rating. So if the rest of the class thought it was easy, but that one student thought it was hard, then it makes it a little easier for you to address that one student versus the whole class. If the whole class thinks it's hard, then that's an issue of reteaching possibly. Now, if a student screwed up and they know they screwed up, they can go back in and resubmit the assignment. If I click resubmit, I just got to find a new, I've got to go back to Notability and get the new version of it and resubmit it. So kids can still resubmit stuff. Now, if I resubmit it, here's the nice thing. It just keeps a chronological order of what I've turned in. The original assignment is always at the top. The one I turned in first will be next. Then my resubmitted assignment will be below that. So you can just keep doing this back and forth. Okay, so this is the student end. So now I'm going to go to the student homepage. Okay? Now, there's my assignment. It says green check mark turned in, waiting for grade. Okay, so that's the student side. Now I'm going to go to the teacher side. Okay, so now on the teacher side, I've got to refresh my screen here. Okay, so now I have one turned in assignment. I click on that, and it happens to be BA Warrior turned it in. Now, so for this class, as they turn in assignments, it'll list them right over here. All your students that turn in assignments will be right here. It says it's turned in. If you've got a whole class that you've assigned them to, here it says turned in. The next student might be waiting for a grade. They, turned it in. It'll just have a code that says, so not turned in. It'll tell you everybody. So you can show the status of any group. You want to see everybody that turned it in. Who didn't turn it in? So you can filter them that way. So it's pretty nice that way. Now, here's the nice thing about Edmodo on this end. I don't have to leave Edmodo to write comments anymore. I can just do it right in Edmodo. So I can click right here. So what's the default total for this assignment? Do I want to make it out of 10 points? Do I want to make it out of 25 points? So I'm going to make it out of 10 points. So that's the default total for this assignment. Okay? I'm going to go to annotate. So basically I'm going to grade the assignment. Oops, excuse me, I got to go over to the student. Okay? So remember when I typed in 10, it now applies it to all the students. So I've got to, and I've got to click on the individual student to grade their paper. Okay? So now I go here to annotate. And here's the file. Okay? So now I can go up here to comment. And right here, I can draw on it, I can highlight, I can type text, I can do a strikeout, so I can do a little thing here where I can go, I can go through and cross out, you don't need to do this part, or you do need to do that. You can go old school. You know, no, this one's wrong. You know, cancel now, I don't want to do that. So however you want to do it. So as a teacher, I go through and I annotate on it and so forth. And now it saves it automatically. I don't have to hit a save button or anything like that. Once I'm done grading it, and what that should be red, by the way. It's once again,
That
projector's not great. All you have to do, it saves it automatically. Close the student's paper, or you can click complete. Close their paper, or close the paper. Now, give them a grade. Okay, so you graded it. You know, I thought it was probably a 6 out of 10, or however you're going to grade it. How'd you think they did? Good guess.
Do you
Better
have to
look.
fill that out like
You
kids
have
do?
to. You have to. This is the only downfall. It's the one little step, but it's giving them feedback. So better look next time. That looks good. Okay. I did grade the assignment.
When I wonder, Steve, if some of that might go away.
It might.
When you're in on our domain one.
Oh, it might. Yep. So up here, you have to. So I gave it a 6 out of 10 grade. I've got to click grade. So now that's their grade. So now it'll let me do this. Better luck next time. Okay. I can do a comment if I want. Okay. So now if I go back to the home page, so it shows that there's one turned in. If I go over to progress, to my grade book, okay. All right. As I look here, there's the assignment I just graded. It's the newest one. So chronologically, this is the opposite of our grade book. The oldest assignment's down here. The newest assignment's right here. Okay. Once again, I can give a student a badge. So, and a badge is just like anything. So, a new badge, you can give it a new title. My student badges. Okay. You can download them. They're free. Okay. And if I go back to the student side. Okay, go to Edmodo Home.
So basically, a teacher has to grade them individually.
You grade them individually like you would an assignment. Yep. So, okay, so I have my assignment back now. It's graded, 6 out of 10. I know that. I can click on that assignment. I can see if I click on the, I graded, I click on it. So if I go, and now this is where the student will go to, when they want to see what you wrote, they click on the magnifying glass. Okay, when they click on the magnifying glass, then they can see all the stuff you did to the paper. So, and then they can download it if they want to, or they can just view it. Open it in a new window.
It's just always there.
It's just always there, and it's always there. It's always on their site. Okay, so that's on that guide that I put together. It is step by step. Screenshot, every step that I just went through. It tells you step by step which button to push, what. Now, once you do it a few times, it seems like there's a lot of steps to it, but if somebody was turning an assignment into you, you're doing the same steps. You've got to grade it, you've got to put it in a grade book. Now it's just online. Okay? And once again, the nice part is those students who are gone or constantly lose things, the assignment's there. It's there, and they're going to have access to it. Any questions? Besides a lot. The big thing is this. How I basically did this. I used my laptop as my teacher. I used my iPad as my student. I made a fake student, and I practiced sending things back and forth. And once you do that, I think it's key to know what it looks like on the student side, because when there's a problem, you want to be able to troubleshoot. The first week and a half or 2 weeks using this is going to be all troubleshooting. It's going to be all fixing little errors, but once the kids know how to do it and they use it a lot, it's going to be second nature to them.
On that planner, is there a way to, like, if you have a test that you're going to give, but you don't want to do it on Edmodo, it's a handwritten test.
Yep.
Can you just add assignments?
Yeah, because if I go to, like, a student can also do it too. So if I go to my student planner, you can go new event and just put an event up there and tell the kids that there's going to be a test using, handwritten tests on Friday. But you can see there's the assignment that I just gave. It's due tomorrow, it's due Thursday, excuse me, in biology period 1. So, and kids can put their own tasks on here. If kids wanted to put their entire calendar, their basketball schedule, all that stuff on here, they could. My thought is, I don't know if I would. I would probably just let Edmodo be your planner for school, and let iCalendar or iCal be your activities. I mean, because if you try to pile it all on this one, it does become a little cumbersome. Just iCal will sync with everything else, and it'll be just a lot smoother for them.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of kids that have iPhones, it would be nice for them to have iCloud turned on. And
Yeah, just turn on iCloud. We're gonna have to.
I love that, so I'm gonna encourage my kids to do that.
It's easy. You type it in. Go on the computer, type it in the iCloud website, and then it sends it to everything. So, all right, 2:05, and we are done. Any other questions?
Will we be able to print from our iPads next year? No.
There are ways to do it, but we kind of made the decision that we're not gonna print. That was further. If they have something they absolutely have to have printed, they can get on.
Well, I think more like the future.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I haven't even looked into options to do it. Our copiers aren't.
Steve has a good
Does he?
program that will
I know there's something that.
kind of does an air print through your wire, so you could probably put it on the staff site, so that students didn't have access to it, only staff would be used.
One thing you might want. There's a couple apps that are just general apps that all of you might want. One is called Apps Gone Free. It's this one here. It's just like it's so if you go to the App Store and type in Apps Gone Free, every day there are paid apps that you would pay for that the companies put them free for just a couple days, and a lot of them are games and some of them are clocks, but every once in a while you come across some really good ones. So like these are the ones they're offering today. I haven't looked at it at all today. So there's games. There's a Sokoba. I don't know what that
One of the
is.
things that I like is that you can go back. You know what I mean? It might be a weekend where the company will let me free.
Right.
It's nice that has that calendar there that you can set on like the 12th and go back and
Right.
see if it's something.
I mean, for the ones that I picked up recently, like example, Sandbox web browser is one that it says you can restrict users to only certain websites. So, like for little kids, that would be a great one to have if you're using that one.
It's one of password control too. I downloaded it yesterday. I haven't tried it yet. Puts all your passwords in one encrypted file, so you can keep all the different things, whether it's Google, your credit cards, and all sorts of delicate information in there. So I think that was on yesterday's.
There it is.
There it is, yeah.
MPass Pro. Yep. And then when you just click on it, it'll say free, and when you click it and it brings to the App Store, it should still say free. If it says that it's cost money, then just you can choose to get it or not. But like I got the measures and dimensions. That's just one for like if you're doing something, you can take a picture of something and then you can actually put the dimensions on there. So for me, that's kind of a handy thing for some of the stuff I'm doing.
I didn't fill that survey out right away. Do you know if I can get that back up?
I think so. I think you'll have to go in the app side and see.
Okay.
There's like a weekly agenda. If you'd rather see things in a different view, you can do that one. There's a lot of those apps. So that's one.
How about the mirror one?
What's that? The mirror. This one.
Yeah.
This is called Reflector or Reflections, and it's a program that has to be downloaded onto your computer.
Oh.
And then once you have it on your computer, then through AirPlay, shouldn't you be able to pick it up?
Is that what we're going to use, or are we going to use the other?
We're using the Apple TVs, as far as I know.
Okay.
Oh, we're not using Reflections?
We were gonna get a couple Apple TVs and try it and see.
So
There's
don't
also
fit everything in.
there's also one that works even better, supposedly, or as good as reflector. It's called, I think it's called AirPlay, and it is $5 a license. And reflector, I think, is about $10 a license, so it's half price, and it works very similar to that. It works through your computer, so that might be an option rather than $100 for Apple TV.
Did you still have the
What one was that called?
I think it's called AirPlay.
Did you do that survey for your hours?
Yes, I did it before.
Does it say that you got $50?
Where would I look for that?
Click on your apps. Go to store.
Maybe you can log in.
Go to store. You do, see, I can.
Did you fill it out?
I thought I don't think I did. I think I was
I did, because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get back out.
Okay, I'm recording.
back up now. No, I'm on it. It is. I don't have a.
Barbie, trying to find that survey?